Hey everyone, Magic Sword here with some more Scholomance reviews. So, we're going to start with Frazzled Freshman, which I think we've all known about for quite a while now. This is a 1 mana 1/4, and that is a little intimidating, better stats than any other 1 drop has ever had. But it kind of raises the question, does Priest really need that? Or does anyone really need that? For example, a 1/4 trades just as well into two 2/1s. There we go, as a 1/3 does. So, Priest loves to play around with like adding health to things and buffing things attack, right? So if you buff this thing's attack at all, it actually becomes quite intimidating, right? Because suddenly it's a 2/4 or a 3/4, right? And oh, look at that, that's a 3 drop, right? But I don't know. I don't know if Priest can quite appreciate this sort of stat line as well as other classes might have been able to. Anyway, moving on. Also, I just don't know a whole lot about Priest, so I could totally be off base here. Moving on to Combustion. This is a big yes for me. This is going to be in pretty much every mage deck that is at all concerned with trying to remove threats from the board. Especially if Demon Hunter is favored in the meta again, you'll see this a lot because of all those 2 health minions, right? So they have a board, it's a Battle Fiend, a Satyr, the Illidari Satyr token, and the Satyr Overseer. You blast whatever's in the middle, and they all die, right? Easy. I feel like positional play is underutilized in Hearthstone. I think that that's a pretty obvious sort of thing, and that they don't really do too much with it. Things like Crushing Walls and this, Cone of Cold even, just because it's everything in the middle there. Meteor is a better example probably, right? I feel like we need more positional stuff. Even Direwolf Alpha, something like that, like a board thing that like everything just keeps sliding down the board with it, right? As you're trading. I don't know. This is a really strong card and it occupies a design space I really like. So maybe I have a little bit of bias there. New legendary Headmaster Kel'Thuzad, also a big yes for me. Unlike in that short film that they revealed him in, I would not recommend using Brawl because if he dies in the Brawl, his spell burst doesn't go off. But AoE board clears are going to swing you hard. If you are against a Demon Hunter and you have Headmaster Kel'Thuzad and let's say you're playing Priest, you Breath of the Infinite his side of the board, or even your side of the board, who cares? You just played Kel'Thuzad, that's all that's on your board. You just took out all of his 2 health minions, and now they're yours. Right, so that's Satyr, the Satyr token, the Battle Fiend, all that is yours now. And honestly, even single target removal with this could be devastating. Because suddenly everything is a Fire Lens portal, right? Something I feel like a lot of people kind of neglected to talk about is that this can act as a pseudo heal. So, for example, if you have a total board wipe, excluding Kel'Thuzad, right? Let's say you have symmetrical board clear, like Demon Hunter's Chaos Nova. That's a really good example. You kill your side of the board too, but then you resummon it, so it doesn't matter, right? I think you could get up to some real bullshit in Warrior with that, with the charge minion, the Kor'kron Elite, or even Grom, right? Probably less so Grom because you wouldn't be able to do that all in one turn, right? But I don't know if that Kor'kron Elite survives a turn or if Grom survives a turn. Being able to do it the next turn, follow with Kel'Thuzad, and then because Warrior has a lot of symmetric board clear, right? The Blade Dance, I think it's called, the one that kills everything up to a certain amount of health, right? Whenever the first minion dies, it stops, right? So you kill your Kor'kron Elite, resummon it, and then charge right in again. That could be pretty devastating. But that's more niche, and I don't think it will actually be that effective. I think you'll mostly see this in Highlander decks, where the deck slots are generally less competitive, because you start having to really like grasp at straws for like quality cards by the end there, and a lot of those have a control play style anyway. So, Steel Dancer. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your weapon's attack. It's a battle cry. No, I don't really see this scene play. Are there any weapons that are really good enough for this? I think any of the I think Fiery War Axe pre-nerf would have been really good with this, right? Post-nerf, not so much. I think Corsair Cache pre-nerf would have been great with this. Again, now not so much. So it kind of doesn't have the support it would need. Um, it's probably okay. I think it's going to get edged out by other cards, though. I don't think it'll really see much competitive play. The one thing I would say is watch out for upgrade in Warrior. And Rogue just doesn't really have big weapons nowadays, so I don't know. Unless they give Rogue a weapon that can somehow scale way up, like, for example, the weapon from the Witchwood that scaled up for every card from another class you played, that would be really good with this. I saw people talking about Bladed Gauntlet for Warrior in Wild, which, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Put it in a... Well, it doesn't even work in Odd Warrior, right? This is an even cost card, so... I don't know. I think it would be fun. I don't think this is a very good card, though. Infiltrator Lillian. Stealth, Death Rattle, summon a 4/2 Forsaken Lillian that attacks a random enemy. I think... Maybe this is a hot take. I think this is going to be a pretty good card. This is a very divisive one. I think it is solid. I don't think it's amazing. I really like the design of it. The idea of it reminds me of the card from Kobolds and Catacombs, the 5/1 that resurrected as a 5/1. That was really nice, right? It can take out 2 mid-sized bodies, the first one of your choice, and the only way it's going to die if you play it right on 4 is if they waste a board clear, which at that point that might be the only thing on your board, really. Maybe like another lackey or something in Rogue, right? So I think the fact that it can't be targeted is actually very useful. I will say that you need to watch out for Combustion, though, because that card, like I said, is going to be in every mage deck. So, you know. Cycle of Hatred, Demon Hunter card. Deal 3 damage to all minions. Summon a 3/3 spirit for every minion killed. I'm unimpressed. I think it's just not enough damage for that late in the game, right? You could turn your board of tokens into 3/3s. That's a thought I had, but it's probably even too late for that. I don't know. If Druid is very prominent and they go the Treant route or like a small beast wide board state route, which I think they're likely to do based on cards I haven't reviewed yet that have been leaked. I don't know. I mean, even with Shandow Wildclaw, right? Like, they clearly wanted to do a Beast Druid. This could work. This could work with some sort of wide board state Druid deck. If that's, like, prominent in the meta, this could be a good thing against that. But the issue is that it would have to be good against other things as well, and it's just kind of not. So, this one's kind of up in the air for me. I think it's generally just a little too weak. Brittlebone Destroyer, another dual class card. This is Warlock Priest. Battlecry, if your hero's health changed this turn, destroy minion. If your hero changed this turn, only hero cards activated. It's terrible. No. 4 mana 3/3, so, okay stats. It's kind of like Vilespine. It 5 mana 3/4 combo. This basically requires you to combo anyway, right? So where Vilespine, you could have played like a one drop, and then Vilespine, this is like you need to hero power, and then potentially play a Flame Imp or like a Renew or something, right? Lots of things can activate this. So my only thing is that I feel like Priest needs it more, but is less likely to trigger it, because they tend to not always want to just spend their turns healing. And one of their more powerful healing effects, the Water Bearer, activates at the end of your turn, so it wouldn't be able to actually proc this, right? Warlock, by contrast, doesn't need it as much, especially if Zoo is the prominent Warlock in the meta, but it's just like tapping every turn anyway. so the condition's basically always met. So you can't think of this as a 4-drop. You have to think of it as like a 6-drop, right? Big thing or a small thing coming out on 6, but it destroys an enemy minion or a minion even, not even just an enemy minion. Um, I think it's good. I think it could see play in some, maybe a control priest. I think more likely some warlock. I think we'll see it. I think we'll definitely see people trying it the first week or so. And I think it has good potential to work out. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, though. All right. Another Warlock card, Boneweb Egg. I like eggs. I think they're neat. I just think they're neat. This is a pretty cool one. I like that they started making eggs summon multiple things. Started with that scarab egg, and now they have this thing with the 2/2/1 spiders, right? So this, let me read the card text. 2 mana, 0/2, as Nerubian Egg was. Summon 2/2/1 spiders. So stats are a little lower overall than Nerubian Egg's summon, but if you discard this, trigger its Death Rattle. That is enough of an upside to make it stronger than Nerubian Egg in my mind. Well, part of the strength of Nerubian Egg was that it was hard to kill a 4/4 on 3, but we'll see. We'll see. I think the 2/1 stat line is actually probably fine, but at any rate, I think the discard effect is mostly just a ribbon in Standard, because we don't have any way to target a 2 mana discard, right? And if you want this early, your hand is pretty full, and there aren't that many other discard synergies right now. I think if we got a discard lowest cost card, like Shriek, this effect could be more relevant in Standard. But, and Wild even is still a maybe, because that deck list is pretty tight. I don't know what this would oust to see play in Wild either. At any rate, like I said, the discard effect is just a ribbon. I think if you didn't have that on there, this would still be strong. This is Nerubian Egg. Strong. This is the same power level. I think it has good synergy with, all of the symmetrical board clears. Not that you would run those in a zoo deck. But things like Evil Genius that destroy your own minions. Well, now you can destroy them. I think we might see an egg package in New Zoolock. I think that's the prediction I'm willing to make. All right. Disciplinarian Gandling. 4 mana, 3/6. After you play a minion, destroy it and summon a 4/4 failed student. Yeah. I mean, this is another one of those priest warlock dual class cards. Kibler was very excited about it. He seemed to believe that it was going to be very powerful, possibly meta shaping. Don't let me put words in his mouth, just watch his reveal. My immediate thought was lackeys. My second thought was eggs. So we have that Boneweb Egg. Now we have Gandling. So I saw some discourse about how this can work with Magic Carpet, in that if you manage to get to this point in the game and your Magic Carpet is dead, or you've managed to not draw it in the top half of your deck, which is just unlucky, but you have managed to draw this, you can turn your otherwise underwhelming drops into 4/4s, which is really nice. But also, let's say you play this on 5 and get one drop to turn into a 4/4. So it's a 4 mana 3/6, which is good stats. Those are, vanilla stats with an upside or here, right? I think it might still be too slow. I think it depends on the speed of the meta, whether this will see play. Because on 5, if you play a 3/6, so it's a 2-card combo, you play a 3/6 and a 2/1 that gets turned into a 4/4, you spent 5 mana to generate 7/10 of stats, which is good, of course. But I don't know. You'd have to play it with a Death Rattle minion for it to be really good, right? And that's what I said about the egg, right? Like, eggs are great here because they're just auto-activated. But then it's a 6 mana combo. And it's like, how much of a threat is that really now? You have a 4/4 and a 3/6 and 2/2/1s on 6. If you're going second, you're playing into a Flame Strike, right? It's kind of underwhelming, right? And also, you're not doing anything to their board in this time, right? You're just developing your board. You don't care what they're doing. If this, let's say, since we said Flame Strike, let's go with a mage. If this mage has a minion on board, then they Flame Strike. Okay, cool, you're dead. Like, yeah, you just got all that stuff burned out. I don't know. I think I really like it. I don't know if it's fast enough. I think if it were like a lower cost, but it made like 3/3s or 3/2s even, it would see play. And obviously its stat line would be brought down as well. But I don't know. This is a tough one because it's unique. That's the point of legendaries, right? They have these strong, unique effects, and I just don't know if this is strong enough. I want it to be because I really like it, but I can't let my biases cloud my judgment. So I'm going to say this is a definite maybe. And that is all from the 22nd. So these are the cards that were uploaded the 22nd and just before. I think Frazzled Freshman got leaked at some point. And oh no, I'm sorry. This first two were from the day before. Overall, I think that we are looking at a very good expansion still. Lots of interesting mechanics here that aren't explicitly just like new keywords or the themed expansion thing, like how we have the studies, right? I think Lillian and Brittlebone Destroyer, those effects where it's like, you know, cost of a weapon or attack of a weapon, cost of a minion, and whether your health changed regardless of which direction it changed in. Very interesting, and I'm excited to see positional effects again. I think this is going to be a very good expansion, and I also think that they're going to get over the balance problems they've been having with Demon Hunter, because it was a new class, right? Like, it was either going to be awful or amazing, and there wasn't really much anyone could do about it. It would be so hard to balance that, even with like an open beta for it, right? I don't know. At any rate, I think we're going to see... I've seen some of the cards that released today that are going to be in tomorrow's review, and holy crap, we are in for a wild ride here. So, see you guys then in about 24 hours. Bye-bye.